Kylie Kelce.
She is, of course, the wife of now retired Philadelphia Eagles star Jason Kelce. Kylie quickly captured the hearts of the NFL fans, and now she's a star in her own right.
The mom of three. She's been called the People's Princess of Philadelphia. How about that? Using her time in the spotlight to make a difference by working hard for the Eagles Autism Foundation. She's got some exciting projects in the works. Kylie, good morning.
Good morning.
You know what I just love about you? You are in the spotlight, but you are not a spotlight person.
No.
You don't have any T-shirts that say People's Princess of Philadelphia?
No.
But what's it like to kind of have these bright lights on you?
It's interesting. I am trying to take it in stride and just make sure that as people are talking about me, that it's about important things. So the Eagles Autism Foundation is the perfect example.
Let's talk about that, because this is a cause that's near and dear to you. What's the connection?
I have told this story so many times. I feel like probably if people have heard it before, they're probably sick of it. I had a neighbor growing up, Tim, who was like my brother. He called me and my sister his sisters, my mom his girlfriend, and my dad the boss. So he was just a constant. He was always around, and it was a learning experience that I didn't even know we were gaining. And so it gave me this deep love and appreciation for one person who was on the autism spectrum. And so therefore it sort of just gives you this love. And it definitely fueled my passion. So when I graduated from college, I went to be a one-to-one and instructional aide in Lower Merion High School. And that only furthered my love. And because of that, as soon as I found out that Jeffrey Lurie was using autism as his sort of focus for the Eagles, I was all in.
Well, Jeffrey Lurie is the owner of the Eagles, and he has a brother with autism.
Correct.
So speaking of further love being developed, that's how Hoda and I felt watching your husband as he gave that retirement speech.
Yes. Yeah.
But apparently you had heard it a few times before.
I had.
Tell me.
So he has been writing his retirement speech for years. He has been telling me he was going to retire since we started dating.
Really?
Which was like almost 9 years ago.
But why?
Yeah.
Because I think he understood the impact of what football has been to his life. And I think he wanted to make sure that he accurately conveyed that to everyone else. And I think it's like a moment to give thanks to all of the people that helped him along the way. And he truly contributes his journey to the coaches that he had, the people around him, every single teammate. So he really wanted to make sure it was correct. And I think it was an outstanding summary.
By the way, it was a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 speech. We did get a tiny glimpse of what he might be like post-retirement. Do you remember the shirtless picture of him in the stands? I thought you might.
We've seen the future.
We've seen the
for
future.
you and your family, and this is it.
Yes, isn't he cute?
He's adorable, but tell me about, because what's cute is I was reading about it this morning, like, he kind of ran this by you.
He did.
Yeah.
And at first you were like, honey, do we?
Yes, I was like, do we need to do that? And he was like, no, my shirt's coming off. And I was like, well, I guess his shirt's coming off. And then it did.
And it did.
It did.
Now, a lot of people are saying they could see him as a sportscaster.
Yeah.
Is that something that he's thinking about, talking about?
I think nothing is off the table at this point. I think he, he's my husband, so I'm biased, but I think he's just...
He'd be great.
He's so good at everything he tries. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But I think that nothing is off the table. I think he's an ideas guy, so I think he's just sort of letting them brew and see what happens.
Okay. Plus, you got to get him out of the house because you already have 3 little ones under 4.
Yeah. I think he needs to get out. Like, it's not that I need him to get out of the house. It's that he needs to get out of the house. I don't think that... I think that with 3 small children, I don't think golf is going to cut it. So
it's interesting because they're so little that they may have just the slightest memories, if at all, of when their dad played football. But there's so much that you are hoping they will take from his experience and what he gave to this game, the way that he played.
Yes. I think that ultimately it's not about them remembering that he played football. It's all the lessons that he got from football that he then gets to take with him. When he's recognized by people and they approach him and they want to take a picture, our girls are too young to understand, like, not everyone's dad has people stop them and want to take pictures. But I hope that ultimately they end up understanding that their dad had an impact on Philadelphia. In a way that was wholesome and that he understood the city and enough that he wanted to stay there and raise a family there and enough that he loves the people that he worked with and will continue to love them. And and that he did things in the city for charities and things like that. He gave his blood, sweat, and tears to the city, and it was out of sheer love and commitment, and I hope that my girls see that.
Well, I think what else your girls probably see is they don't just have one athlete in the family, they have two.
That's very generous.
You played college field hockey, you're a hockey coach. There is something about an athlete, I think. I mean, I loved sports when I was younger, and I try to teach my little girls lessons that I learned. So how are you parenting them?
Well, I think that it's ultimately, there's always competition in our house. Yeah. Right now, we're in our racing phase. Anything we need them to do, I'm like, I bet you can't do it in under 10 seconds. And all of a sudden, they're moving. But I mean, I hope that they steer into sports. If they don't, that's fine. But I will always take the lessons that I learned playing field hockey, working with a team, doing something for a collective whole. I will always take that and apply it to our kids.
You know, there's not just two athletes in the family. There's three because we have Uncle Travis.
Oh, of course.
Now, listen, we started by saying you are not a spotlight person.
Yes.
The spotlight has grown slightly harder because Uncle Trav, is dating a certain someone.
Yes.
Don't want to put you too much on the spot about it, but what's it been like to kind of watch that close up?
Ultimately, if Trav is happy, we're happy. We are always cheering on Uncle Trav. It's such a treat to be able to do that on and off the field. But it's been amazing.
Well, they're a very cute couple. Can you imagine if there had been this much attention on your first date with Jason way back then at the old Buffalo Billiards in 2014?
Right. There's no video evidence of that, and I'm so glad.
You guys met on Tinder? Is that right?
We did, yes.
Okay, I love the whole beginning.
I read that he fell asleep.
I did, 45 minutes after I got there. Yeah. Like asleep. Very much.
And why did you give him a second date?
Because we had talked up to that point, like had very nice banter. And then the next day he launched a full apology. He was like, I'm so sorry. We should try that again. And I was like, okay.
Oh, gosh.
One more chance.
Well, we're happy. We're so happy that you came to see us. We're happy about this cause. We can't wait to get outside in the next half hour and really dig into it.
We're going to have an Eagles takeover on our plaza. You know that I'm an Eagles fan because my husband grew up in Philly.
Yeah.
Chanel worked in Philly. She's a fan.
She's an Eagles
you can hear her shouting back. And now the whole cast, including the Saints fan, she's going to be wearing an Eagles jersey.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What kind of fan are you, by the way? Because your hubby hasn't really seen you in like how you are on the stands.
Yes.
Are you a crazy fan?
No.
You're just you're...
golf clap?
I say no slightly sarcastically. I catch myself yelling at moments where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have yelled that hard.
Well, it'll be fun. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.